Ever wonder why something that used to make you feel at ease, comfortable, and even joyful suddenly seems hurried and disjointed, or perhaps leaves you feeling more empty than satisfied? Our body, feelings, and experiences change as we age. However, certain very personal behaviors, particularly those related to self-gratification, are stuck in the past for a lot of older men. A normal and healthy aspect of human sexuality, masturbation may either improve your physical and mental health or subtly impair it if done without knowledge or adjustment. This is a discussion about wisdom, not about shame. It involves realizing how your body changes as you age and learning to adapt to those changes rather than fight them. Men over 60 are being quietly harmed by 7 typical masturbation errors that go undiscovered, according to top doctors and men's health specialists. Your sleep, prostate health, emotional equilibrium, and even your sense of self may be negatively impacted by these habits, which are based on antiquated ideas or young practices. Therefore, let's have an open, courteous, and sincere conversation about it today with the goal of assisting you in regaining this very private aspect of your life with clarity, assurance, and consideration. Before we begin, I advise you to click the button and activate the bell if you haven't already so you don't miss any further personalized health advice. Put 1 in the comments if you like this video. If not, input 0 to tell me how I may improve your material. The first error was accepting the myth of semen retention. The notion that delaying ejaculation for weeks or even months can boost testosterone, vitality, or mental clarity is one of the most false assumptions that many older men make. This idea, which is sometimes propagated by online falsehoods or antiquated customs, might seem alluring, particularly to men who are attempting to regain their youth. However, science presents a very different picture. Your body was made to discharge naturally and healthily. In addition to being a natural aspect of male physiology, ejaculation is also essential to general health, particularly beyond the age of 60. Negative mental and physical effects might result from holding back for an extended period of time. These include restlessness, irritability, pelvic congestion, insomnia, and even a higher chance of prostate problems. Excessive semen retention might cause pain and emotional instability rather than increase your energy. Intentional ejaculation in moderation may help lower stress, promote prostate health, and control hormones, according to doctors and men's health experts. It does not imply that you must count days or adhere to a plan. It only involves paying attention to your body. When self-pleasure is practiced carefully, it is not about depleting energy. It may really be revitalizing, giving men a sense of emotional connection and groundedness while also boosting their sexual confidence. Dispelling the myth about semen retention isn't about giving in, rather, it's about paying attention to what your body really needs and reacting to it with care and respect rather than with inflated demands or performance pressure. Pleasure at this point in life should be about connection rather than control. However, many older men have another habit that they have been carrying about for decades without even realizing it, and it is as frequent and harmful. It's so automatic that it could be subtly impairing your capacity for genuine enjoyment. Let's examine it more closely. Please let me know in the first remark below if you're still watching and finding these insights useful. Let's now discuss point number 2. The second mistake is always employing the same technique and grip. Many elderly guys still masturbate in the same manner as when they were younger. The same hand, the same pressure, and the same repeated action, often performed out of familiarity, habit, or the conviction that, if something is effective, there's no need to alter it. This precise predictability, however, might gradually work against your body, decreasing sensitivity and restricting the possibility of more profound, fulfilling enjoyment. Things that used to feel wonderful might gradually become numb, disjointed, or annoying. The nerve system of men is quite flexible. Your body learns to react solely to that particular feeling if you repeatedly stimulate it in the same manner. We refer to this as sensory conditioning. You could thus find it more difficult to climax, be less receptive to intimacy from your partner, or even get psychologically exhausted throughout the encounter. The joy you used to have turns into a boring habit and is far less fulfilling. Your body is desiring diversity, not because it has failed you. Changing things up doesn't imply giving up on what you already know, rather, it means adding to your experience. Try switching hands, altering the angle, applying more or less pressure, or playing with circular or slower movements. Dormant nerve responses may be roused and feeling rekindled with even minor method changes. Some people find that a textured sleeve made for older men or a safe personal massager may boost stimulation in a subtle but efficient manner. Consider your enjoyment as a muscle. It reacts most effectively when presented with novel motions rather than the same repetition. The objective is to remain interested, inquisitive, and connected to your body as it evolves with age, not only to climax. However, despite the improved methods, there is still another error that can be stealthily robbing you of your pleasure. And almost all men have done that without even realizing it. You could even be doing it today without recognizing the expense. Rushing through the experience is the third mistake. Many guys learn to hurry through masturbation when they are younger due to need, a lack of solitude, immature impulses, or a fear of being stopped. That hasty attitude sometimes turns into a habitual habit that is definitely retained into old life. However, your relationship with pleasure should evolve along with your body. The greater injury starts when self-gratification is rushed through, transforming what should be a moment of connection into a mechanical activity aimed only at relief. Your body doesn't have enough time to naturally develop arousal while you haste. Your thoughts don't remain focused. You're rushing to the finish line, often with little awareness of the route, rather than living in the moment with every experience. This may eventually diminish your sensitivity, lower your emotional fulfillment, and leave you feeling unimpressed or disengaged. Your body is really hankering for your attention, not your speed, and you may even begin to feel as if it is failing you. One effective way to show respect for oneself is to slow down. When you take your time, you give your nerve system time to completely engage, allowing your mind to calm down and your arousal to develop steadily. Even a basic encounter may be very nourishing when deep breathing, deliberate touch, and mindful pace are used. It's about feeling more emotionally connected, more grounded, and more completely present in your body, not about taking longer for the sake of taking it. After the age of 60, enjoyment should be savored rather than rushed. Every minute you spend with oneself in present becomes an opportunity to re-establish a connection on all levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. However, if you're simply concentrating on a single area of your body, even the greatest pace won't provide long-lasting enjoyment. A richer realm of feeling is just waiting. Kindly let me know you're here by leaving the first remark below if you're ready to go beyond the obvious and still find these insights useful. Let's go on to point number 4 now. Ignoring the rest of your body is the fourth mistake. Focusing just on the genitalia during self-pleasure is one of the most common errors guys make, particularly as they age. Pleasure is narrowly focused on one area of the body while the rest is neglected, a habit that is learnt early. However, this constrained approach may result in us losing out on the whole range of feeling and emotional connection that our bodies may still provide as we age. You are more than a collection of pieces. You are an intricate network of nerves, emotions, and vitality that all need care. You deprive yourself of the depth of experience your body is designed for when you neglect parts like your neck, chest, lower belly, inner thighs, and perineum, the delicate region between the scrotum and anus. When activated, the nerve endings in these zones may increase arousal, boost circulation, and give your enjoyment a feeling of completeness. New pathways to awareness and fulfillment may be opened by applying a little massage, gentle touch, or even just a warm hand to these areas. This is about finding forgotten aspects of yourself, not about attempting to recreate yourself. You may activate your neural system in ways beyond habit by using more of your body. You provide the experience a sense of completion, intimacy, and emotional stability. The greatest thing is that these methods just call for curiosity and attention to detail, no additional equipment is needed. Learning to use your whole body revitalizes your leisure time and serves as a reminder that your ability to enjoy life does not diminish with age but rather changes. However, even if you're prepared to explore more of your body, most men are unaware that they are missing out on another little detail that might be preventing you from experiencing deeper pleasure and true satisfaction. The fifth mistake is not using lubricant. Reduced skin sensitivity and moisture is one of the most prevalent and often disregarded physical changes that men experience as they age. However, many older men still masturbate without using any lubricant in spite of these natural changes, either due to habit or the conviction that they don't need it. They may not be aware that skipping lubrication might subtly impair their entire experience, sensitivity, and comfort. Without lubrication, friction rises, which over time may lead to skin discomfort, tiny tears, and even permanent desensitization. It's possible for something that was enjoyable to become unpleasant or, worse, totally disappointing. Everything changes when you use a high-quality lubricant. It lessens needless resistance, improving feeling. It makes moving easier, particularly if you have arthritis or hand stiffness. Even nerve endings that may have become less receptive over time may benefit from stimulation. More significantly, it adds a sense of ease, gentleness, and enjoyment to the whole process. Consider it similar to using reading glasses when your eyesight deteriorates. It's a wise, sensible decision that supports your current body and isn't a sign of weakness. Anyone who wants to improve comfort, lengthen duration, and heighten sensitivity should lubricate. It's not only for those who suffer. Using a personal massager or carefully exploring self-pleasure, a little lubricant may make a big difference in how well you connect with your body. It transforms an ordinary moment into something more fulfilling, emotional, and rich. But despite having all the necessary resources, many men are nonetheless prevented from enjoying life to the fullest by something far deeper. It originates in the mind rather than the body. Furthermore, if left unchecked, it may subtly undermine even the most conscientious endeavor. The sixth mistake is feeling guilty or ashamed of what you did. Masturbation has been associated with emotional burdens for many elderly men for decades. It was often influenced by rigid religious doctrine, social taboos, or familial demands and started in infancy or early adulthood. Even while research has shown that self-pleasure has many health advantages, the old sentiments of guilt and shame may continue subtly affect behavior, cause internal conflict, or even completely ruin the experience. You may feel the urge to conceal it even if you tell yourself it's healthy and natural. Go through it quickly or act as if it doesn't exist. You lose the chance to completely accept your body, your wants, and your right to feel well because of this emotional detachment. In actuality, taking care of oneself is not a sign of weakness. Actually, research indicates that men over 60 who engage in healthy self-pleasure have stronger immune systems, greater sleep, happier moods, and less stress. Masturbation may be more than just physical when done with awareness. It may be profoundly encouraging and emotionally reassuring. You may connect with your feeling of energy, honor your desires, and pay attention to your body during this quiet time. Being reckless is not the same as letting go of shame. It entails being more truthful with oneself. Find out where such antiquated ideas originated. Were they based on fear or on truth? Did they keep you silent or did they improve your quality of life? Your connection with your own body should be one of respect, comfort, and tranquility. Emotional healing and increased self-confidence are made possible by redefining masturbation as self-care as opposed to enjoyment. However, many older men make another error, often without even recognizing it, even if their thinking is apparent. And this last habit could be the link that separates regular fulfillment from really potent, long-lasting joy. The seventh mistake is to overlook features and tools intended for older guys. Changes in sensitivity, grip strength, dexterity, and endurance are quite normal as the body matures. Unaware that their needs have changed, many older men still pursue self-pleasure in the same manner as they did decades ago. In fact, it makes perfect sense to modify our approach to pleasure as we age, just as we do with other aspects of our lives, such as moving to reading glasses, orthopedic shoes, or ergonomic seats. Ignoring tools made especially for older men is a lost chance for solace, camaraderie, and rediscovery rather than a display of strength. Many safe, well-designed technologies have been developed in recent years with the needs of aging bodies in mind. These devices, which range from hands-free massages and ergonomic aids that lessen physical strain to soft, skin-safe sleeves that replicate natural feeling, are designed to enhance, not replace, your touch. They enable you to take advantage of longer, more fulfilling sessions without experiencing pain or frustration by assisting in overcoming limits that may arise from arthritis, exhaustion, or decreased nerve reactivity. When these instruments are introduced, many men experience smoother motion, greater feelings, and a revitalized sense of sexual confidence. Making use of these improvements is about being astute and proactive, not about being reliant on anything. You wouldn't think twice about changing your diet or fitness regimen as you get older, and the same consideration should go into how you approach relationships. For other guys, embracing tools opens the door to feelings they haven't experienced in years and is a gesture of self-respect rather than weakness. However, physical instruments are only one aspect of the situation. The perspective you bring to your experience and your well-being is what really elevates it, and as that mindset changes, everything else starts to alter in unexpected ways. Changing one's perspective instead of retreating, it's time to change. One of the most effective adjustments you can make at this point in your life is to your thinking rather than your methods, habit, or equipment. The perception of masturbation as a fast release, a covert habit, or something to be done out of need rather than pleasure is still too prevalent among men over 60. However, the reality is that your identity, pleasure, and connection with your body have changed, and rather than running away from this change, it's time to adapt to it. This stage of life is an opportunity to develop a closer, more deliberate relationship with yourself rather than a door that is shutting. Physical fulfillment is no longer the only aspect of self-pleasure. It has to do with emotional equilibrium. Being conscious of yourself and respecting the guy you've grown into, you make room for something far more significant when you let go of antiquated ideas about what self-touch and sex should look like. You start to perceive it as discovery rather than habit, as caring rather than performance. A very different sensation arises when masturbation is reframed as an act of self-respect rather than a residual habit. It's an opportunity to embrace the changes that come with aging, to enjoy calm, deliberate moments, and to appreciate your body as it is. You give yourself permission to flourish sexually, emotionally, and spiritually when you change your perspective from one of shame to one of inquiry and from habit to healing. This is about meeting oneself where you are with compassion, knowledge, and grace, not about running after the past. The benefits of doing so extend far beyond enjoyment. They have an impact on all facets of your well-being and serve as a reminder that you deserve to be connected, cared for, and trusted, even now, maybe even more so than before.